The Thames, by day, is a liquid road of history and commerce, but at the cusp of the year, in the fleeting, impossible moment dusk bleeds into night, but before the first star pricks the velvet sky, it becomes something else. It becomes the domain of the damp one, the sodden fowl, the wet duck of the Thames. It was not a duck one could ever imagine a child feeding crumbs to. It was a creature woven from river fog, unforgotten things, lost buttons, splinters of old shipwrecks, the tarnished gleam of a discarded sovereign. Its feathers were not feathers at all, but a matted, streaming pelt of waterweed, an oily silt that clung to a form both pitiful and grotesque. Its eyes were not beads, but the deep, dark hollows of a drowned thing, reflecting no light, only absorbing the dying gleam of the day. Elias, a mudlarker of the soul rather than the shore, was the only one who knew to look. For 50 years, he had kept the vigil, drawn by a story his own grandfather had whispered on his deathbed. He stood now on the shingle beneath Blackfriars Bridge, the city's electric heartbeat a dull throb against the ancient chill of the river. He waited, not breathing, as the last copper slit of sun vanished and the world held its breath in the deep blue silence of the dawn of night. And then it appeared. It did not swim, nor fly. It coalesced, a patch of thicker darkness detaching itself from the shadow of the bridge's pier. It was small, wretched, a clump of misery made animate. It paddled in a listless circle, its webbed feet making no ripple on the water's skin. Elias's heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic, living drum against the impending unnaturalness. The wet duck stopped its circling. It lifted its head. Its beak, the color of a waterlogged coffin lid, parted slightly. The sound that emerged was not a quack. It was the antithesis of a quack. It was the sound of the riverbed giving up its secrets. It was the groan of a rusted anchor chain being dragged through mud that had not known light for 1,000 years. It was the despairing sigh of a man going under for the third time. The wet, choking gurgle of a sewer pipe, the creak of a gallows rope fibers tightening. It was a single, protracted note that did not travel through the air so much as it seeped directly into the bone. Elias felt it. A cold that had nothing to do with the evening air bloomed in the marrow of his spine. It was a deep, resonant chill, a frost that crystallized on the inside of his skeleton. His teeth ached with the memory of every winter he had ever known. The sound was horror, not of sudden violence, but of infinite, waterlogged decay. It was the auditory essence of everything that had been lost, forgotten, and drowned in the old river's embrace. It was the profound, miserable truth that everything, in the end, becomes cold and wet. For that one fleeting moment, the sound hung over the Thames, silencing the distant traffic, stilling the very flow of the water. It was a sonic scar on the fabric of the night. And then it was gone. The wet duck seemed to deflate, its form dissolving back into the constituent shadows and river mist from which it was formed. The dawn of night was over. True night, with its pinprick stars, and its mundane darkness, had begun. Elias let out a shuddering breath, a plume of white in the sudden cold. The chill in his bones remained, a permanent resident now, a relic of his annual pilgrimage. He turned from the river, his joints protesting, his soul feeling heavier, older. He did not know why the creature existed, or why it uttered its bone-chilling cry only once a year. He only knew that it must. It was a necessary horror, a yearly reminder from the river itself of all the sorrow it held. And he, Elias, was its sole, shivering witness, bound to the wet duck of the Thames until the year his own bones finally learned to rest, cold and silent, in the mud.